Alright, we're heading into the second map between Happy and DieSeL. Happy, after pretty convincingly winning map number 1, has the chance right now on this map to already ensure his first place in Group D. DieSeL this time is going to go for a early altar, so we're not gonna see a Tavern Hero this time, most likely a Demon Hunter, and he starts with an Ancient of War pretty close to the Goblin Merchant here, so he's probably gonna go ahead and Ancient of War creep this one in the beginning. In the meantime, Happy, who's spawning in the bottom right spawn position, starts with, as far as I can tell, this slightly delayed DK build with the crypt early on with the ghoul production starting as quickly as possible. And the first big question here is going to be whether he's going to decide to be aggressive again like he did on Turtle Rock, or if he's going to decide to do his own creeping in the beginning. I mean, it's pretty likely that we're going to see a Demon Hunter here with this early altar by DieSeL, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And yeah, the Demon Hunter, of course, doesn't lend himself nearly as much to early harassment as the Beastmaster. But yeah, perhaps Happy's just going to decide to go for it anyway. So second Sigurd is coming right now, as was to be expected. So regular ghoul build by the Russian. Both of them decide to scout here, and both of the scouts are gonna meet each other like somewhere around here, and then both of the players should have a pretty strong clue of where the opponent has spawned. So Archer is soon to be out. Second Moonwell is coming for DieSeL. Happy, well, having his DK, having the first couple of ghouls. Ancient of War is being rooted here, uprooted, and is making his way towards the Goblin Merchant. And with that approach, given that this is a pretty easy camp to take, if Happy decides to go for some harassment here, he shouldn't really be in time to do anything about this initial creeping. So the Death Knight spawns, the Rod and Dust have been bought, and yeah, he's heading towards the top, so it looks like he's gonna wanna go ahead and start harassing here. And first circlet has been found by DieSeL. Of course, he's gonna be happy with that. Probably the best item he could have hoped for here in this particular situation. DK is coming in just now. He is, oh, he's buying another one even, Blade Master style, boosting his Demon Hunter here early on a little bit and chasing after this DK right now. Both of them have spent their first skill points already, and since there's no aura, I'm pretty sure we're seeing Coil first here against Mana Burn first. And therefore this Death Knight is not going to want to get anywhere near this Demon Hunter for the time being. The Wisp here could be coiled right now. He decides not to do so though, continues running away from this Demon Hunter, who seems to be very eager to trade a little bit here with the early investment into this circlet. In the meantime, tech has been started by both the players. DieSeL slightly ahead this time. Goose are being pulled by Happy, who is probably going to want to creep here. DieSeL, is he just waiting for the boots here? Or is he gonna continue to do some creeping? Looks like he... Ah, no, he's going for some more creeping. Taking down the Nullbrute here on the left-hand side first, which is the one who drops the item. For Happy, this one's going to be the one to drop the item. Demon Hunter with third circlet here. So that's... And Boots of Speedboard as well. So that is really gonna make him insanely well in trading early on. Happy in the meantime finding only the Ring of Protection, so... not the most luck for him in terms of item drops. Demon Hunter with the Boots of Speed is gonna have, as long as DieSeL pays attention, he's gonna have a pretty easy time escaping from surrounds. Just as I say it, he's getting really close to being surrounded here, but as long as there's no Unholy Aura and there is the Boots of Speed and the Demon Hunter, it's Happy shouldn't be getting the surround here, but almost again getting this around, just as I say it. But look at how much damage, only like a few hits on these ghouls are putting them in such a tough position already. In the meantime, an Archer joining the fight here as well. And Happy just trying everything here to get the surround onto this Demon Hunter, but I think this might not be the smartest idea. Mana Burn onto the DK, just a couple of hits and he's already down to only half his hit points. And yeah, level 2 on the Demon Hunter is of course going to be helpful as well against these surrounds with the first bunch of misses by these ghouls. But it looks like DieSeL is not gonna wanna get himself surrounded here. The next ghoul is falling, and Happy is really not making the best decision here. I feel like trading against this Demon Hunter. In the meantime, second Second crypt is coming, and just as I was looking away for a second, he's getting himself surrounded. But is this a smart idea by Happy? There are 3 archers here and this monster of a demon hunter, and he should just be able to fight out of the surround quite easily. Happy's trying to keep it close, but the demon hunter is squeezing out, but maybe squeezing back in against the forest here. No, he actually isn't. Goose turning around right now against the archers, but Happy is even using his TP here early on, so he's lost, I think, a ghoul here, and did he lose another one here? I'm not sure. At least 2 ghouls and a TP, and didn't really get anything in return. So is DieSeL actually perhaps going to be the one player to take the first map from Happy here? DieSeL, the one who hasn't won a single series so far. Well, he's got a long way to go, and Happy is apparently not planning to take this game too quickly, going for the gargoyle production, going for definitely a long-term plan, whereas DieSeL is getting the Panda second. He's okay, he's going double Ancient of Wind, and he's adding range upgrade and another archer. Okay, so that did he just forget the Hunter's Hall? Was this planned? This is wow. Like, after such an early game, I would have expected him to just go for the old-fashioned, you know, expansion, as long as he's got map control, and then add just a whole lot of dryads, go to tier 3, like, played the, like, more old-school style, where the Night Elves didn't go for tier 3 as quickly. Another circlet found here, by the way, on the Demon Hunter. But he's going double Ancient of Wind, and he's actually building a few talents here. So I would have thought Hippogriffs immediately to deal with the gargoyles, which isn't unprecedented, but not really the approach you'd be expecting. But Archer's talents is really, it's a little bit reminiscent of Lost Temple, where the Night Elves usually went for these big ground range armies against the gargoyles because there was no Panda to help contesting the army of the undead. But on a map like Norwood, it's really surprising. But we'll see how well DieSeL is going to be able to fare with that. Now he's adding Hippogriffs as well, so I'm surprised. Alright, he's getting the expansion, he's getting a big ground army here for the time being, so it's going to be hard for Happy to really contest that. Flute of Accuracy found here in the middle for the undead, whereas at the bottom he found the Potion of Greater Healing. We're also going to keep an eye on the bottom spawn position to see whether Happy is going to decide to expand. Their Drunken Haze is coming in against the gargoyles, but as we can see, they are able to very easily snipe out these talents, as they have as they are unarmored, as long as the army sizes aren't growing too much out of proportion. That's not going to happen before this expansion really starts kicking in. But for the time being, Happy is able to trade extremely well here, and this is really not the mid-game that DieSeL was hoping for here. The first gargoyles, the first hippos are coming in as well. The first gargoyles are being microed out nicely by Happy, though. He's making sure not to lose any of them here for free. One of the hippogriffs gets chased away here. The archers are just sitting in the middle trying to chase away the gargoyles. In the meantime, more gargoyles are spawning. Lich is coming right now. Tier 3 has been started somewhat late by Happy. He's relied a lot on these gargoyles for the time being. And yeah, he's grabbed the Red Drake with them. He's traded decently with them. And he's going to be annoying against this upcoming Entangled Goldmine with them. But how many hippos are there? 4 at the moment. And if there's the same number of hippos, even with 4 hippos against 5 gargoyles, the hippos are definitely going to be the superior army. So DK buying the orb immediately here as Happy reaches tier 3. Frenzy upgrade is coming. The Ecolite here is just patrolling. Demon Hunter has scouted down here right now. I mean, DieSeL obviously has seen the big heal potion on the Death Knight, so he knows that the Happy has grabbed one of the spawn positions early on, and I think this one is the pretty obvious choice to check for an expansion, and he did so with the Demon Hunter. He didn't find an expansion, and the Demon Hunter, and especially the Panda, where is he? They are gonna wanna get some more experience here. He's gonna wanna have level 3 before Happy decides to go for another engagement. So the question is going to be, does Happy go for some early pushing here? The Lich would suggest that that could be the choice of Happy. Or does he plan to take this Hasu up style and just hit and run forever and slowly wear down his opponent while perhaps getting his own expansion into play. So we do see a couple of talents here, I guess, for Fairy Fire. A lot of hippos and a few remaining archers on the side of the Night Elf, who sees Happy coming in right now. It's 48 supply, by the way, for DieSeL against 42 for Happy, who's just going for the Entangled Goldmine here. DieSeL turning around right now, still not on level 3 on any of his heroes. The Demon Hunter is immediately forcing Happy to retreat there for a little bit. Coil Nova going onto him. Is there a staff already? No, there isn't. So this Demon Hunter might be forced to TP here soon. There's no mana on the DK. There is mana for another Nova on the Lich Protection Scroll used on the Night Elf's army. And Happy is just flying away with his Gargoyles. He just doesn't even want to try to take the air fight. 7, 8 Gargoyles against 6 Hippogriffs, they have no chance, especially with the Scroll of Protection, so Happy is not even trying to go for the fight here at the moment. Even with a perfectly timed Nova to slow these Hippos as the fight starts, it should be difficult for Happy, but he's added a couple more Gargoyles here. I think he's at like 9 right now. Yeah, he's going up to 50 supply right now. DieSeL is already broken, he is not spending any time saving up here. DK almost level 4 already. Let's just quickly see. He did spend his skill point and his level 2 aura. So with this unit composition of DieSeL, heavily relying on Hippogriffs, he is not afraid of hero focus, and rightfully so. So he decides to go for the regeneration and speed boost instead. Panda 2.5. And yeah, the damage output is quite high here. Nova is coming in against these Hippogriffs. Drunken Head, Breath of Fire, Happy immediately using Stone Form, and it is DieSeL who's using the Town Hall here, flying away with the Hippogriffs. So it looks like Happy, with the 1-0 upgrades and with the heavy Gargoyle army for the time being, was strong enough to scare DieSeL into leaving the fight. And DieSeL is immediately adding another Hippogriff. As long as he is able to maintain the superior air army here, things should be difficult for Happy. But we've seen what the undeads at the time were often able to do in these situations where they had the inferior army with Gargoyles, but the Unholy Aura, but a lot of mobility with the Gargoyles, with no slow fiends or anything like that, that made it difficult to do hit and runs. And you know, of course, talking about especially the games we've seen in Group A here, with Hasu Ops against Nightwolf and Hasu Ops against Nightwolf, and also Happy against Hot, I guess, on first playday on Twisted Meadows. Those have really showcased some very nice hit and run. So the Goldmine is under attack. 2 Wisps get taken down here. Third one is down. 2 of them have been sent back into the Goldmine. Happy still at only 50 supply against 58 for DieSeL, who still seems to be struggling to take a good fight here, and more Wisps have to be pulled. Where is... Yeah, Demon Hunter was waiting here for what? For the orb, perhaps? I think so. Yes, he has reached tier 3 by now, so he's bought the orb, and that's what he was waiting for, apparently. He didn't want to engage before getting the orb, and somehow DieSeL has still been able to keep this Goldmine up, and at least somewhat running for the time being. And now with the orb, it's going to get a lot harder for these Gargoyles to continue harassing. In the meantime, one archer is just sitting down here, making sure that Happy doesn't expand. And Nekolite is actually heading down there. And he's going to be welcomed by this archer here, I guess, pretty quickly. Demon Hunter's coming in with the orb, and the Gargoyles are immediately running away. Look at the damage the poison is going to do to this one Gargoyle over time.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
And yeah, Fairy Fire casted as well onto this hero. It really helps DieSeL out here with the vision. He always knows when harassment is coming. Drunken Haze Breath of Fire is coming in. Finally level 3 on the Panda. The Hippogriffs are charging forward. I'm not really sure who would be ahead in an air fight right now. The number of Gargoyles is slightly superior, as it appears, as well as the upgrades on those. They have 1-0, whereas DieSeL doesn't have upgrades on his Hippogriffs yet. Did add the Hunter's Hall in the meantime though, finally. And I'm guessing he's gonna want to start adding some lore units as well. First Stride is in production right now, and with the Archer being here, seeing the expansion attempt of Happy, DieSeL is gonna come in from the top, or is he now splitting his army kind of awkwardly? Happy apparently was willing to give up his expansion here. I mean, he didn't have any choice, but in return he would have gone in here and cancelled or killed the Entangled Goldmine. But DieSeL decides to turn around and defend, while only continuing to harass with the one Archer, which isn't gonna do all too much. Hippogriffs are coming in right now against the heroes, whereas the rest of the army kind of running around awkwardly at the bottom. So DieSeL is screwing up here a little bit, and he's letting the gold mine go down, which is terrible news, because now he's gonna have to sit here and wait until the Entangled Gold Mine is back up, because the gargoyles are not gonna give this one an easy time. One of the hippogriffs might be taken down here. Of the gargoyles. Gargoyles turning around there for a second though. Happy not losing any of them. And the Lich should be coming in for a Nova if he needs it. It looks like he doesn't even need it. The statue has been added in the meantime as well, as we can see from the slaughterhouse. Even second slaughterhouse coming from Happy. And well, the Haunted Goldmine is up. But is he going to be able to hold that, or even saturate that properly?
Research complete.
I mean, the point is, once DieSeL heads towards the bottom, Happy is immediately gonna go to the top again. And DieSeL, he does have a TP on the Panda though, so perhaps he should just quickly take down this gold mine and then TP over. The Entangled Gold Mine almost up, but the gargoyles are gonna come in from the top and immediately start harassing that one again. First Wisp is falling, and the rest of the Wisps are being loaded in there, but they need to start repairing immediately. In the meantime, the Night Elf army is slowly coming in against this Haunted Gold Mine. The Entangled Gold Mine is taking more and more damage, and DieSeL is town portaling here and leaving his Demon Hunter behind, defending without the Demon Hunter. That's quite a ballsy decision, but he seems to be confident enough that he's going to be able to take that fight without his Demon Hunter. Master finished on the talents. That is nice to kind of have a means to work against this hit and run by Happy now with the Cyclone against the Lich. And Happy does have plenty of mana on the DK. He also has a TP and he decides to use it in the meantime. One gargoyle might be falling. No, none of the players losing a unit here. But okay, this expansion actually is still standing. I was just about to say, but the Demon Hunter was able to take down the counter expansion in the meantime, but he didn't. So DieSeL up at 70 supply. Happy still saving up. He's at 1,000 gold. He's adding a Sacrificial Pit as well. He apparently realizing that he's not gonna get this counter expansion into play. He's just gonna wanna go for a huge army eventually, as it appears, and perhaps he's just confident enough in his own skills in taking a big late game fight against DieSeL here. Now he's breaking into low upkeep with 51 supply, and there's the TP coming in from DieSeL, gathering his army around the Panda, and he's easily going to be able to defend for now. Happy still at 51 supply. Did he even realize that he broke into low upkeep? I don't think so, because this seems to be wasting a lot of resources and he's not producing anything actually, so I'm not quite sure where this 51 supply comes from.
Your building is complete.
DieSeL slowly chasing after him. Demon Hunter and Panda both slightly over level 3. By the way, Happy does have 2 heal scrolls here in his inventory, and one, he probably morphed the statue. That's why he got some more supply. And the hippos are coming in from the bottom, but he really wants to have the Panda around here to assist him. Demon Hunter's coming in from the top there. Mana burn against the Lich. He does have a mana potion though. For the time being, he's out of mana, and the Entangled Goldmine has been killed once again. Coil is not enough to finish the Hippogriff here. 1 HP remaining, and Happy still at 51 supply. Does he really not realize it? Or, well, I mean, I'm guessing he just expects to lose a unit here sooner or later, but for the time being, he doesn't do so. Another Hippogriff gets killed, but now finally, 2 gargoyles are falling as well. The undead heroes are coming in from the bottom. Where's the rest of the Night Elf army? Happy's doing a really good job just dancing around the forest here, always dodging these archers and talents, and having his entire army, which is only an air army, fight against only the air part of DieSel's army. So despite being down in supply, he seems to be getting alright trades in here. Which might still not be enough though, because trading alright against expansion as I said, could maybe not be enough. We've seen a keeper third added by DieSeL, who really seems to be sick of this hit and run by Happy. And Happy now has officially broken into low upkeep, adding 4 abominations here in total. He's down to 300 gold. Didn't add any new items here. Also didn't add any new statues here for the time being, which is a bit surprising in my opinion. And he's once again going to go for the snipe on this Entangled Goldmine. And I think the army of DieSeL is too far out of position to do anything about that. So, yeah, this one's... is it gonna fall again? It might. DieSeL gathering up his hippogriffs here on the left-hand side. Happy immediately running away towards the top with his heroes and towards the right-hand side with his air army. So he didn't get the Entangled Goldmine killed. Just denying a bit of harvesting. In the meantime, DieSeL seems to be satisfied with his hero levels at the moment. 3-3 and level 1 on the newly added keeper. He's got the first bear in his mix as well. Should make sure that he's roaring his hippogriffs as well once the serious fighting begins. And Happy is the one continuing to creep a little bit, finding the one of mana stealing here. Does he get level 5? I think so. Yes, he does get level 5 on his DK. Big deal before a future fight. I mean, this keeper is going to fall so quickly, and the hippogriffs have overextended here as it appears. A couple of them have fallen, and Happy is pulling back his gargoyles in time here once again before the panda can come in to help the hippogriffs with a breath of fire. And I guess now he's once again going to engage there over the forest, picking off another hippogriff. And once again, this panda has had such a difficult time ever getting a good breath of fire in against the gargoyles. Lich gets entangled here, but only for a second. Does the Dryad not shoot at the Lich? Now one shot gets off and the Lich is being slowed, and I think he perhaps... I think the keeper just reached out for another entangle. And again he reaches out for another entangle, but he doesn't get it. And the Lich is able to escape here into the undead space, where there are 4 abominations waiting in the meantime. 2 more statues are being produced right now. DieSeL at 71 supply, Happy at 73. So despite not having the expansion, he has been able to bank so much gold and trade so favorably that they are still somewhat even in terms of supply. And it looks like Happy is eventually gonna get his big fight with a lot of units on both sides and somewhat equal conditions in terms of supply. And now both of the air armies are engaging up here above the forest, and it looks like the gargoyles might be coming out on top, but at the same time the talents here in the air are also helping, and from the bottom some of the archers are shooting in, and yet the gargoyles will slightly come out on top. These are still at 63, Happy at 62, so it looks like the trade has been, you know, somewhat equal. 3 gargoyles surviving, but the gargoyle army was also the bigger one before the fight started. And Happy is immediately adding more gargoyles. He's got 3 statues on the ground right now, and drains the mana from the first one, so it looks like he's gonna wanna get ready for a big fight right now. He's got 3 statues, he can even morph the 4th one. 70 supply for Happy, 63 for DieSeL. The 4 abominations in the front are also not going to be a pleasant surprise for DieSeL. The air battle starts immediately, and it looks like Happy is easily gonna be ahead in that one. The keeper gets taken down very quickly as expected. Level 1 low HP hero at this stage of the game is really a pretty prominent target. In the meantime, as you can see, there's really nothing that DieSeL has to deal with these destroyers at the moment, and on the ground also Happy is looking strong with the abominations, and the Demon Hunter's got no protective items anymore. And even though he's extremely tanky with all of those circlets, it looks like he's not going to be able to stay in this fight anymore. The Lich does have mana for another Nova, decides to spend it into the units though instead of on the Demon Hunter, and all of them are slowed. And Happy really only needs to pick up the pieces right now. He doesn't need to lose his DK though. He TPs in time, and he's killing the panda, and he's killing the Demon Hunter before town porting out. And there's a GG by DieSeL while still having the expansion, but having lost all 3 of his heroes and the majority of his army. So Happy did have a terrible early game here, but he ended up still playing a superior mid and late game. Just basically, even from a horrible or from a rather bad position, outplaying his opponent. DieSeL did get the expansion up rather safely, but Happy yeah, just making use of this chunk of forest on the right-hand side of DieSel's expansion, always just running around it with everything, having the ground army of DieSel just chase him and not do any damage, while always just taking this small engagement with the gargoyles. Just cast a Nova into the hippogriffs, snipe off 1 or 2, and then pull back again as the ground army of the Night Elf was coming in again. And he was training just so well, as we can see here. Units killed 77 to 44. In the meantime, he was always at 50 supply. We can see that here in the resources. Gold lost to upkeep, a lot more for DieSel, even to the point where he they still got like more than 2,000 more gold mined, which doesn't include this gold lost to upkeep, in case you don't know. So well, to the point where he caught up like 2,800 gold thanks to staying under 50 supply, and eventually even got the supply advantage in the end fight, despite not having the expansion for such a long time. And DieSel just clearly was outplayed, was no match to Happy in the series, which means Happy is rank 1 no matter what happens. The best that can happen still is that Hot wins his upcoming series against Paladin with 2-0, and then wins on the final playday against DieSel with 2-0. And then Happy could lose with 0-2 against Zeus on the final playday. Even if that happens, which would be worst case scenario for Happy, he and Hot would be at the same map score, at the same number of points at the end of the group stage, and then Happy would be ahead thanks to the direct comparison, in which he was able to take down Hot with 2-0. So yeah, for Happy, there's really nothing left to gain anymore on the last playday against Zeus, but I guess there's still a little bit of honor on the line, and if he wins that one with 2-0, he can finish the group with a perfect score. For the time being, he's going to join Elfie, though, in the finals, so we do have 2 first-ranked players already after this 4th playday, but we haven't finished it yet. There are still 2 more matches to go in this Group D. The next one will be Hot against Paladin. And yeah, I hope you'll check that one out. Pretty important when it comes to one of these 2 players being in a very good spot after the best of 3 to, be in the top 3. And as I said, I hope you checked it out. I hope you'll give this one a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Take care.